another team who will join us very soon. Once they are in, they'll be duly acknowledged. We'll move on to invite our regional director in the person of Mr. Alex Opoku-Mensah to give us the welcome address. Shall we invite him with a round of applause?
Thank you very much, Madam. A very good morning to you all. Let me begin by first thanking the organizers of this event. Although quite a good number of you were late, because per our time, we were supposed to start at 9. And we have 2 sessions. And that of the second session is to begin 12. So now we have taken an hour of our period. But that notwithstanding, we shall do everything within our possible best to impact to you what we are supposed to do. Yes, for national service, it is our mandate to visit all tertiary institutions, of course, which are accredited, like yours, to take you through the activities and the mandate of national service, especially the do's and don'ts, so that as you join us, you'll not fumble, and then you know you are left from right. This morning, or this session, we are going to give you 3 presentations. One will be the general overview of national service as to how it started, the do's and don'ts, the laws governing it, and what have you. And that session is very important because, Madam, as you are aware, once the national service is mandatory, if you don't have the certificate, that national service certificate, per the law, there is no way you can do any work, even your own private work, you can't. So, yes. Hello? That is, if you complete university and you set up your own firm, once there is a record that you have completed university and you didn't do national service, per the law, you can't operate. Why? That is the law. So please, when we are doing presentation about the general overview, we have to listen to us attentively because most companies, being it public or private, they usually do interview. And the moment they see that you are a graduate or you have completed university, these are the questions they ask you relating to national service. Then we shall take you through to how we register online so that you can be posted. And when you are posted, you are doing the national service too, we have to be paid. So the accountant will take you through. But whilst I'm doing the presentation, I'm happy to announce to you the presence of our indefatigable Deputy Executive Director, very affable, but very respectful too. That is Dr. Gifty. So I will do the proper introduction of her. She's the one going to take us through the general overview. So when it is time, she will come and I will introduce her properly. And that is how we do. Usually when it is Cape Coast and other quote-unquote big universities, our leadership from the headquarters join us and do the presentation. So that by the time you depart or we dissolve from here, you'll be much abreast with time as how national service runs its activities. So once again, I'm happy for the number we are seeing. I'm told that by the time we leave here, this side too will be filled. But let me advise you, as potential leaders of this country, let us be time conscious. That statement of African punctuality, which does not exist in any lexicon, is not good. So, Madam, on that note, I think we need to relax a bit. Okay, so I want to use this opportunity to invite the first speaker. As I've told you, he's going to speak about the general overview of national service, how it came to be, the laws governing it, and the do's and don'ts. And that presentation usually is done by the regional director. But who is the regional director when the deputy executive director is present? So today we have this opportunity to invite our deputy executive director, who is also ESCO member of Ghana Football Association and the owner of so many clubs. My brothers, let's invite Dr. Gifty Owari. Doc, you are welcome.
Hello. Oh. Hello. Oh, hello. I think this happens to be my 8th session for the last 8 years. And coming to UCC is always here. That I got my first book he had from someone from UCC. And he came to school, he got a girlfriend in the university. Before I knew, he left me. Oh, he didn't try at all. I had a, Ojami. Oh, by now people can make us say my husband is a UCC boy. Oh yes, I know, mommy ko ware school I'm in for myself for University of Ghana. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are very grateful for the way UCC always receive us, your reaction towards us, and how you come forth when we have to. I'm a very fast speech maker. Unfortunately, I teach history very key because almost all of us went through this process, and if you do not appreciate what this is about, you would end up finding yourself wanting for the 1 year you'll be doing your service. So I beg you, please give us all the necessary attention. We'll make sure it's less than an hour so all of us can be able to go back to our various duties. Can I have the slide? So national service, as you all have heard, is called the National Service Scheme. A lot of people call us the National Service Secretariat. The reason is because the office we are in is called the Secretariat. So when you call us the NSS and you think it is Secretariat, it is fine. But the real name of the agency is called the National Service Scheme. Very soon, if all things work out as we are planning, we make NSA. There is an already NSA there, which is the National Sports Authority, National Security Authority, and other NSAs. But for us, we are going to be the National Service Authority. The authority just means that we are going to expand more, and maybe we may end up starting to post people to the mortuaries. But for now, who told you we don't post people to the mortuary now? We do. Why don't we post people to the hospitals? Is the mortuary not part of the hospital? So we still post. The National Service Scheme, like I said, is supposed to be done by all of us Ghanaians, whether living in Ghana or abroad, whether I went to school in Birmingham or in Brunei, whether I went to school in Florida. As far as I'm Ghanaian, 18 years and above. So somebody would ask, will I have to do service if I'm 16 years and I completed school? My school, KNUST, provided someone. We produced one guy who was 15 when he completed university. He had to wait for the next 3 years to do it. So when I took over at the Deputy Boss of National Service, the young man had just completed school. He had to wait till in 2019 ending before he could join to do. So naturally, national service can only be done by someone who is 18 years and above. People had been asking us, they see 18 years to 40 years. What does that mean? What it means is, if I am 40 years, I can decide to seek for an exemption from national service. But it's not an automation. When you seek for the exemption, the board will have to sit on it, and the board will decide if they want to give you the exemption or not. So national service is supposed to be done by anybody 18 years and above. Number two, as far as you are from a tertiary, and when I talk of tertiary, I mean any course that is 2 years and above. So if you do DBS, you cannot do national service. So from the high diploma and above, you can do national service. Note, most of us here had done diplomas at various institutions before we got here to do degree. If you also get here after doing one national service on the diploma, you are not supposed to do another national service on the degree. National service is done once in a lifetime. So if I've done national service before, I cannot do national service again. So national service is done tied to the individual, not to the many courses that you decide to do. Are we good? Like I said, it's for Ghanaians. So as far as you're a Ghanaian, you are supposed to. 18 years and above is there. And then one beautiful thing the national service say is that you must be of sound mind. What we say when we mean the sound mind thought is saying that you must be someone who can think and think straight. You cannot be someone, you know, it's funny, eh? But in reality, many at times we sit at the office and we have people who are bipolar. And then somebody says, I'm working with her, I'm working with him. I don't know what happens. Any minute she's getting a meltdown, even when you are asking her to do a job. So we are worried, can she stop? If a doctor assesses you and tells us that whatever sickness you are suffering from can be a threat to another fellow, we would have to let you stop national service. No, we don't do that. Our national service commenced from 1973. It was a decree by the Champon administration. If I talk of the Champon administration, all of us here do not know, even including myself. Only few people sitting up here knows about it, and maybe some 1 or 2 people around here. But the Champon decree that people were asked to go and do national service by force. Every grad, they went to various institutions. Those times your school wasn't called UCC. Your school was just producing teachers. They came and said, all of you come and make sure you are doing something. But the girls here used to put on short skirts. And it was a punishment of making all of us active and doing something back to the society. But in 1980, we got what we called an act by a civilian government. This act is an act we had been using. It had gone through some few additions, some few amendments. But as you and I are speaking, we are about to enter Parliament again for the act to be reviewed entirely. Because in this act, there is some bit of it that says that the national service personnel must just be any Ghanaian, which means that whether you go to school or not, you can do service. But then in 1996, it was changed to say that it was only for us graduates. So there is going to be a new. Can we move? Deployment for employment. This is Brofo. What's it will deploy for employment? What that just means is that when we send you out there for you to do your quest to depend education to it, but there is someone also at Care University who is also doing history like I did first degree, but they didn't add education to me. And fast forward, I didn't know I was going to end up being a lecturer. So to save this person also, at this point, as you and I are speaking, we have introduced something we call the pedagogy. And this pedagogy would help this person. All of you here know pedagogy. Oh, you don't know pedagogy? Oh, they said they don't know. Okay, so the pedagogy process is just the training of me, a non-teacher, to be able to appreciate the teaching skills and the proper formula of teaching. So we've introduced it that within the 1 year I am doing service, if I have the flair of it, that qualifies me, just as you, the BED, through national service, deployment for employment. Now we mobilize. When I say mobilization, is you, the people sitting here. And we deploy you, and what deployment means is what you call the posting. Now we would post you to the places that you are supposed to be. Can we move? The vision and mission, I don't think you need all of this. Please, some of these things, you will see them every day. We all know why we are Ghanaians. We all know we are supposed to be nationalistic, or we are supposed to be patriotic, or we don't know. Okay. So, as Ghanaian as I am, and we the Ghanaian gathered here, we are supposed to be patriotic. Why? You're supposed to learn how to sing General Assassini and know how to sing the national anthem, and then be able to recite the national pledge. So when they say recite the national pledge, you will not sing the national anthem. National service is 12 months. When I say 12 months, what it means is the whole cliche on the streets that, oh, national service starts from January, and by the time you are in July, you've done 6 months, so you can stop. It's a lie. When I was a student, they told me to. I don't know who spread it, but it's all over the place. But the truth is, national service is 12 months. Whichever month you start, it would end at the other month in the next year. So if, for instance, this year, we are starting in September. I don't want to say we are starting in September. It's possible we'll come early. If we are starting in September, then we are going to end the next year, 10 months. Sorry, 12 months. Now, between those 12 months, there is the last month, which should have ended the year. If it was January, it was going to end in December. Now, in November, you go for a permanent, what do you call it? A terminal leave that is supposed to be your right and not my privilege. So at any point, when you are done with your 11 months, you have a 1 month terminal leave, and that terminal leave precedes your completion of national service. Are we good? So if you start in September, you will complete in July, and August will become your terminal leave. Great. And in the terminal leave too, you're supposed to be paid. So national service will have to pay all the people in the public sector, whilst the private sector people will also have to pay the people in the private sector. Organizational philosophy, these are the things they have written. The national programs, the things they have written. The sector, can you all see? Good. So, no, please go back. These are just talking about the organizational philosophy, just talking about the skills, the relevance of national service, and the essence of the national service you do. Let me just give you 3 essence of national service. On any day, if you want a scholarship in this country, and you have not done your service, and you want to get any scholarship, without a service certificate, they will not give you. And it's law. Get Fund, Scholarship Secretariat, GMPC, then. All of the rest of them, including Koyokoko Board 1. So you need a national service certificate to get it. If you are also looking for employment by government, and you say you are an HND or a degree holder, you are supposed to provide your national service certificate, it being civil or public service. Without it, you will not be employed. And unfortunately, you know, way back when it was not digitized, what people used to do was to come to our office and they'll come and beg the people and cry and be rolling on the floor. So some of our staff, who are also very, very sweet and they have empathy, will not like me, will just say, oh, okay, you let me fake one for you to go and get the employment. Now, if you want to check my national service certificate, all you need to do is to go on our portal, put my name, Gifty Oware. If you know my other surname, you would have been able to see my certificate, then it will pop up. So, we cannot fake a national service certificate for anybody. If anybody tries to fake it for you, when you go back to your workplace, you'll be sacked, because that's a crime. National programs are the places we are posting people to. So this is Now, we post people to both private and public. We call one the subvented, and we call one the non-subvented. In our parlance, when we say subvented, all we are saying is companies that derive their money from government COFEX. Non-subvented, any agency that do not take anything from government. It could belong to government, but do not derive directly from government. For instance, when we're talking about airports, Cocoa Board, for instance, SNET, we are talking about individuals, but they don't also derive their data system. Now, non-subvented, one of it is all the other private agencies you see, including the MTNs, the what? My husband is Asante, so I'm very careful when I'm pronouncing that word. That word. And they are called what? 80. Yeah, right. So the 80. But we don't have Kasapa again. So Kasapa can't post you. But all of them, including the banks we know, are. Somebody asked me, so are the NGOs like the UN, those UNESCO, the Danida, the GIZs, are they also non-subvented? When National Service will pay you the 7. I say, oh. But when these agencies are working, they work under ministries. So the ministry they are working under, which is Foreign Affairs or then, okay, I've spoken about the sector. And also in hot. So they want all of us to begin to set up air conditions here. The board has the right to also create models. So models that the board has created, one of it is the planting for food and jobs. Rain for food and jobs. The board has created the traffic management. So you see sometimes if you are in Accra especially, you see this young men and women in the national service thing, they are there and they are directing traffic nicely. Hello, women who only go to work sometimes at 6 a.m. and they close exactly 10 a.m. because they have an intensive 2 months training on how to do the job of the traffic warden and policing. So people who get the fortunate point of being there, at least know the Lance Corpers. Can we move? Study leave. Spoke about terminal leave. Study leave. You were coming to do your course. Your agency gave you study leave. No. What it means is that I'm going to school. Are you listening to me? I work somewhere else, but I'm doing continuation of my school. Now, when, for instance, let's say I'm a teacher at Christ the King, government, I had done just the set A. I decided to come and do a degree. Now, when I am going back to do my service, I only have to state that I am on study leave because I'm already working. So national service will post me back to Christ the King and not post me somewhere else, which is not supposed to be the place. Are we good? So study leave at national service doesn't mean I took leave and I came to school. What it is saying is that I was already a worker and I had to break into my work to come back to school. So when I am done, post me back to where I was working. Are we good? This study leave people pay some little quota, not through you, but through the agency to Ghana National Service Scheme. Health conditions. That's things that can stop you from doing national service. If you, by foul or fair means, decide to get pregnant, and in this pregnancy, you are told that there is a problem with a pregnancy. One, you can write officially to us and we'll work around it. And then make sure that we are posting you close to where the pregnancy happened. So you will be with that man who got you pregnant. Now, why? You don't want the man to suffer too. Can I see what you said out again? Now, if by any reason, for instance, I am afraid of heights. So me, when I'm on the 3rd floor, 15th floor, 13th floor, even when I'm on the national service floor, you are not very careful, and you push me, I'll fall, because already I have a scare. That cannot be determined by a doctor. But if you have any other thing like asthma, like now when you state it like it is said, you are supposed to give us proof. So I say me, I have hepatitis. I'm supposed to be able to say that this is my certificate that says I have hepatitis. You cannot say you have epi and then you are lying. You cannot say you have, let's say, syphilis, where we know that it's supposed to be in your pants, and you are pretending that you come and let all of us get syphilis. We won't mind you. But diseases that affect you in terms of work, when you are writing to us, you're supposed to. If you have any disability, it's also there for you to say, see, I have some disability form, and you have to look at it whilst you post me. Then also we look at the choices of your region. There are always 3 choices you are supposed to select. Me, if it was me, who had the digital assistant I was selecting, I would have selected Greater Accra, Greater Accra, Greater Accra. But unfortunately, National Service doesn't allow you to do that. You can select the regions you want. The onus is on us when we go for our posting conference to post you to wherever we want to post you. So what you are supposed to do is genuinely select the regions you know if you were posted to, you will be comfortable. Because the first reason for your posting will be, we'll check where your domicile is. Domicile means where you are living. Can we move? No, I just saw National Service is not obliged. I want to. Oh, okay. Like what I just said. National Service is not obliged to post personnel to their preferred region or user agency. So they decide where they want to post you. You don't decide. Can we move? This is the acts. This is the job creation, other things. So these are the things I had been speaking about. I've already spoken about the 40 years, you remember? Please, the 40. Then the paid before this one, no. Okay, this one. You remember I spoke about the 40 years? Good. Now, the 40 years, this is a rule. I am 40 and I got my first degree or my HND. I'm not supposed to do service, but like I said, the onus is not just on you. You can decide to apply. When you are done with the process, the board is the only people that can say won't do, because you are supposed to apply for exemption. An exemption, the board sit on it as they are having a board meeting to say, these people have asked us for exemptions. We think that, let's say somebody has done a course in, I want one that we need so much, lab tech. The lab techs are very few. For instance, anesthetists, they are very few. So if I'm 40 years and I go to do it, the board will say you must do your service. So there are few courses that the board are very, very active on. But like the one you and I have done, but the one you and I, hello, but hold on. Why are you guys murmuring? See, we all have done courses that there is no way the board will say we should not do. Why are we not humanities people? Who will ask a humanities person not to do service? They will let us do the service. Don't worry. So can we go back to it? Like I said, done HND prior to service, you are exempted. 2 years, done 2 years non-degree course, you are exempted. These were the things I was telling you. So 1, DBS people cannot do service. 2, if you have done HND and you did your service, you won't do a service again when you are doing degree. Proven ill health. No, you can go. Proven ill health, I've already spoken about it. Approved postgraduate studies. Now, this is it. A lot of us, when we are done with our first degree, for instance, let's say you were the top of the class and you got a scholarship and you have to go back to school right after the first degree. You are supposed to offer deferment. Now, if you do not write to us for the deferment, because see, if you write to National Service for deferment and you come back, this is the advantage. And you are supposed to get a job just after you came. National service will not force you to have to do the service because you wrote a deferment with us. And it will rather be a privilege for us to get you on and rather post you to wherever you've gotten the job with. And we'll give you an attestation. But you have no bearing with us. If you do not... Hello? So, if you have any examination, to recite, my brothers and sisters here, National Service is saying you are supposed to defer. So somebody asked me, am I supposed to defer when the course, whether I just have one paper to write? If you don't and they catch you, it's a crime. That is being caught. Who is a thief? Don't ask me to explain. No. I'm just saying, you are supposed to finish school before you do service. So you are supposed to write it and come and do service. But like my husband and my father had said, it's until I am caught, I am not a thief. Are we good? I didn't say anything. Offenses. These are offenses. I am quite glad that we are amending our act. I find some of the offenses very, very, really. Evasion. The evasion, they say it means that you did not even report to where you were posted. Some of you are very stubborn. You've been asked to come to my house to do your service. When you got to my junction, you said my house was too far, and you decided to leave. You didn't come. It's a crime. When they catch you, National Service will deal with you. And this one, you see, no, let me tell you something. Something I was told when I was young. Hello? It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, you people, why? You are making the guy feel bad. So, before you go to second year, they will bring some of the reasons why we have these kind of laws. And I think, how do you pronounce that word? Say it again. The what? Desertion. Sir. Okay. So he says desertion. So when you decide to desert, the what? The what? You will not be given a certificate, and it's also an offense. Then self-paid. When I was doing, after first degree, I wanted to go and do my service, bougie, and these people too have sent me to go and be holding. And that's what they did to me. But you see, if I did not go to, why are you looking at them? They are just one of us. They are only late. The only crime is today they are late. You is fine. Oh, you are welcome, madams. Now, what happened is that when you post yourself to a place you want, and it's not in the national service system, you will not be given a certificate because we don't know where you posted yourself. The only place we will post you is when they will come. Madam, you see, when I saw it the first time, it was at this place, and that too. So don't do it. Danger. One, if you're a beautiful guy here and very handsome, and you come to me and you say you want me, you're coming to lobby me, it's a crime. Now, I use myself because if I had used the men, all of you would have been fain. Now, if a woman decides to also go to any of the... So, you are not supposed to lobby me. You are not supposed to lobby any of the people here. That is why when we are done, you will never be able to get our numbers. And we'll walk out of here, and we won't talk to you, and we'll go to our house. Are we good? So don't lobby us whilst we don't lobby you. Enrollment. Enrollment will be done by one of our staff, the IT system. So I've said the www.nss.gov.gh so much that sometimes when I want to type something, before I know, I'll start typing nss.gov.gh. Now, NSS and everything that we do is digital. Sadly, when I was doing my service in 2010, it was not. I remember very well going to KNUST, the humanities. Hello. Hey, hold on. See. Hey, mommy. Now, what the temple and papa could we now see a poor catcher? I'm about to come. Oh, what's why I'm more macho? I'm on the phone now to at the end so will be a home message, you know. All right, so hold on, guys. So in 2010, when I had to do my service, I had to go to the faculty. We were about, let's say, 3,000 or 4,000. That time we were not so many like today. About 3,000 people completing school, or 2,000. And my name is Owari. So you can imagine where my name would have been. And I had to see this short woman. That time I was even slimmer. And I'm looking for my name. Do you know it took me almost 2 weeks? No joke. Anytime I say it, I have goosebumps because people don't understand where we've come from. See, it took me full 2 weeks. Because me, when I sleep, I sleep very late. I don't like to wake up very early. Anytime I'll come to the faculty, there will be people there. And now I have to go and write my NSS number. And it's pasted. And those times, that's the only way you can get your NSS number. And when you go, you have to be looking for your name and write it too. So this thing had been in the process for so long that way back, all of you here would have to go to your faculty and be checking your name on the list. So we've moved from these processes into becoming a digital space. So if not for anything, when we talk of digitization, no joke. I understand. Because like I said, I've gone through it. Now, when we were posted, let me tell you something that happened. You will not be sent the posting to your phone. You would have to go back to your school. Your school are your few. But you have to go back to your school. Or maybe when your friend go, you can ask a friend, oh, which place did they post me to? Okay, you were posted to KNUST. Me, Accra girl, you have to go back to KNUST and go and now ask them, so what do I have to do? And now you have to go and print yourself from a cafe. And after you print it, we took it back to our school, KNUST. Then we went to queue in front of my then dean of students. He signed everybody's own. We all walked straight to his former office, the regional office at Asante region. After they signed for us, we went back to KNUST. We went to sign again. Then we went back to, that time there was no Ofori Chrome office. The only office was the KMA office. So I went there and I went to give it to them. That time Mr. Ajin was the KMA boss. And then I had a boss, the boss of the place. Oh, I've forgotten this man's name. Mr. Kwenu. You know what later he became my staff. Let me tell you that what the man did to me. So I go to this man one day. Our allowance had delayed a bit. And I said, oh, sir, so please, Akola Wejimi Kakra. So you see, our allowance is delayed so much. Can we have our money? We waiting. And the man says, put the paper down. I didn't hear. Said, please, why should I put the paper? Said, mine. Fast forward. Who here to me in 2010. He didn't know. 7 years later, I became his boss. The first time he entered my office and I looked at him and he came to talk to me when he asked me a question, I also said, you know, what I did is, he still couldn't get it. Girl, who used to harass you in 2010, said, "Hey, mommy, when you papa." You know, so I keep saying to people, why we treat all of you well is because one day, who knows, you may be the president of Ghana that I may have to serve under. And these things, they happen. So please, the 7 years later, I was just 29 and I was his boss. I said, no. Oh, boy, the crowd boss. Can we move? So, you are going to go on www.nss.gov.gh. Like they said, this is the enrollment system. They will teach you how to do it. We always advise you use your own laptop in trying to register yourself, or even your phone, because it's very mobile friendly. Now, when you go to the cafes and you leave your details there, what happens is that these cafes, someone already has enrolled you, or the person has your details they can use. And don't forget that now we are using the Ghana card, which prevents a lot of crimes. So somebody can also pick your details and use it for anything wrong. So please, if ever you use a cafe or any computer that belongs to many people, make sure you log off fully before you leave the space. Are we good? Next one. Then posting registration. These ones, my colleague will pick it up and then they will tell you all the details of what you're supposed to do. Like I said, we all know our date of births. A lot of us forget how to write our date of births when it's twisted. Okay. My brother. No, him. You know, when we are told to write our date of birth, like I am a 4th July 1986, it's easy for me to do. But if ever I go to meet July 4th, 1986, possibility of making a mistake is very high. Because in my thoughts, the way I write it as a Ghanaian is the 4th July 1986. So when you are registering, be very careful about your date of birth. Be sure what and the way you are being asked. Because they said it's date. That's why I said you may think you know your date of birth until you are asked to fill a form where they have twisted it. Because if you are a Presbyterian, you are tempted to write, or if you went to any school, you are tempted to say you are gifted. But most of the time, when we are filling forms, they ask us surname, they will ask us what name? They will ask us what name? First name, sometimes even middle name before. So you're just supposed to be cautious, speak off. So anytime you see there is any wrong in any of them, come back to your school and ask them. One, the way you